Hey guys, welcome to the Commander Lounge. This is my EDH deck, and it's called Borborygmos' Fight Club. And the reason why it's called that is because it's filled with a lot of different ways to fight other creatures with your creatures. And I really just, this obviously you see Borborygmos, and he's not the most powerful green-red commander you could pick. Like, if you wanted something powerful and trying to win, you should probably go like Xenagos or something like that. That would probably be a better route to go. But I mean, Borborygmos, his stats are all right and everything. I just love the theme of it. With me going with a fight theme, like he looks like he's trying to call someone out right now. Like he looks like he's trying to fight. I imagine on the other side of that finger that's pointing down, even though he's huge, I imagine him pointing at a poor defenseless little squirrel for just coming over into his territory, and he's just ready to Hulk smash his ass. So yeah, that's why I chose Borborygmos. And I mean, another reason why I chose is also because this was a deck that I played at the pre-release just to stay on theme with Atarka, even though I didn't even get to play with Atarka. But yeah, I won this in a prize actually from another YouTube channel, and they are called Tap and Turn Gaming. So yeah, I won this card from them, and they, they were nice enough to kind of message me and stuff, and keep letting me know how everything was going with that. But yeah, they do a lot of stuff with commander games, and they do tiny leaders and stuff like that. Like, they're a really good channel. You guys should check them out. I'll put a link to the channel in the description below so you guys can check them out. But yeah, let's get into it. We've got Borborygmos. You pay a green, a red, and 3 colorless for a 6/7 trample. And whenever Borborygmos deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Like, it's not crazy powerful, but once again, fight theme, he looks awesome. Alright, so now we're getting into our lands. We're going to get into our fetches first. We've got Wooded Foothills, Jund Panorama, Naya Panorama. By the way, this is a budget deck, and for fetch lands, you should definitely pick up the panoramas if you're going the budget route, because this is amazing. Because the biggest thing with the more expensive lands is that you just get to play with them untapped, and this kind of gives you the ability to play your lands aggressive because you can tap it for a colorless. You don't have to search up if you don't need to, so you can play these lands aggressively. And then we have Evolving Wilds, cool new art, promo art. And we got Terramorphic Expanse. And now we go into our just dual colored lands. We got Rootbound Crag, Rugged Highlands, Raging Ravine, good man land for when the board gets wiped. Got Reflecting Pool, Stomping Grounds, Conclusion Forest, Gruul Guildgate, Gruul Turf, and then we got our utility lands. We got Tectonic Edge to get rid of, any offensive lands out there, any Cabal Coffers, or, Kessig Wolf Runs, or, Guy's Cradle, anything crazy that is going to, go off. And we got Temple of the False God, great in ramp decks. We got Reliquary Towers, so we can go party draw with everybody else. You might as well have one, even if you don't have many ways to draw crazy. You should always be ready for a party, like a group hug party draw deck. You will always need this card. And now we have Kessig Wolf Run, which could close out a game on its own by giving the creature, plus X plus O and trample until end of turn. And then we have Forgotten Cave for cycling. And I believe it is 10 mountains. And we have Tranquil Thicket, which is just another good cycle land in the other color. And we got Mosswood Bridge, which is really good with Hideaway. Most of the times, if you have 10 or greater power, you can play the card that's hid away under it for just 1 green mana. So it's just a 1 mana spell for something potentially huge. It's perfect in this deck. And then I believe we also have 10 forests. Alright. So now we are going to get into our ramp package. And of course, Soul Ring is always the first one. So we got Soul Ring, Birds of Paradise, Sakura Tribe Elder, Somber Wall Sage is great in any creature built, anything that's mainly creatures in the deck. It is a perfect ramp card. Just really good. And we got Kadama's Reach, Cultivate, same thing. Oracle of Moldiah is amazing because it, you know, you get to play an extra land and it gets to keep you drawing gas, so it's amazing. Explosive Vegetation, I didn't go with Sky Shroud Claim because I didn't have one, and also with this deck you don't really need to get it, you know, you need the ramp, but you don't need them to come into play untapped. You got a lot of expensive stuff that you're just waiting to get to next turn to play, so that's why Explosive Vegetation gets the nod on that one. And then we have Garruk Wildspeaker, you know, mainly for untapping target lands, and can do other stuff. It can overrun for the win if it gets there. And then we go into our card fixing / card drawing. And we got Crystal Ball, just a fantastic budget to Sensei's Divining Top. Like, if you guys are like so mad that you guys don't have a Sensei's Divining Top and you guys are missing that spot, Crystal Ball will definitely fill that spot for you guys. It's real good. Sometimes it's even better. And we got Greater Good, which is an amazing card. Just draw so many cards with that. Soul of the Harvest is just perfect for this deck. Drum Hunter. I don't really like that it's at the end of your turn, but it's pretty good. I mean, especially it taps for a mana, which is awesome. It taps for a colorless, which is amazing. And we got Harmonize, which is one of your staple green draw cards. Draw 3 cards is amazing for 4. And then, because I absolutely hate Tooth and Nail, I actually had a foil version of Tooth and Nail, and I actually sold that for store credit just because I hate that card. Like, it's either just a, oh, I'm gonna get Kiki Jiki Zell's Conscripts, good game, guys. Or it's just like, oh, I could grab this and kill you guys, but for the spirit of Commander, I'm gonna just grab these two and pretty much win the game anyways. It's just a win more card. It's just, you're just gonna win. Like, if you can infinite in your deck, just infinite in your deck and let us see who comes in second place. It's just so stupid. I hate that card. Tooth and Nail is so dumb. I hate tutors in general, but I actually do have 2 tutors in here, but I think they're alright. So we'll get to those shortly. Alright, so we got Garruk's Pack Leader, which is just great. Draw more cards. And now we get to our tutors. Now, Signal the Clans, I give the nod to this one in my deck because it's just funny that you get to kind of gamble on what you get. Like, yes, most of my deck is pretty is built pretty good to where the 3 things I grab are pretty much going to do the same thing. But some of them can be between killing 1 artifact enchantment and like wiping the whole board of artifact enchantment, something like that. Like, it's very, you know, you still get surprised in what you get, and that's why I really do. I think this is probably one of the only tutors, you know, one of the only tutors that I actually really kind of like. And then we got another tutor, which is Hoarding Dragon. I mean, I mainly picked him because I really needed a 5-drop. My 5 drops are real low on the mana curve. So I picked him up, and he gets to search up any artifact, and you get to exile on it. When he dies, you get it back into your hand. Like, this is very good to get. Like, I only have 3 artifacts in this deck, I think. Besides the creatures, there's like 2 artifact creatures that are really good too. But I mean, it's very conditional. Even though you get to grab whatever card you want, you need him to die. You got to make sure he doesn't get exiled and all that. And you really kind of have to work for it. I mean, this is a good fight target if you want to kill him right away. He's also real good with Utvera Hellkite, so that's another reason why he gets the nod in this deck. And then we have Eternal Witness, just regrowth on a stick, gotta have it. Feldon of the Third Path, I really want to play this card. I have it in my Prosh deck too. I have yet to play it in either decks. I actually had it in my hand at the pre-release, and I was just waiting for Endgame to kind of start spitting out Wormcoil engines over, seeing how many times I could do it, because I was waiting, because I knew board wipes were coming over and over again. I didn't want to throw them out and then instantly get them wiped. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how he does in the future. I just really love this card for reanimation. And then we got our Wipers, which we got Balefire Dragon, which when he deals damage, he deals damage to... whenever he deals damage to a player, he deals that much to each creature that player controls, which is amazing. And it's flying 6/6 for 7. It's awesome. And then we got Crater Hellion, which deals 4 damage to each other creature. It's okay. I'm not really too big a fan of this card, but it's a big body, so stick around. And we got Perilous Vault. We got to have that oh shit button. And now to our just kind of non-creature removal, I think. So we got Hull Breach. Hull Breach is one of the best removal cards, and Gruul. If you're playing Gruul colors, there's no reason not to have a Hull Breach in your deck, because in a lot of times it's going to be a 2-for-1. You're going to be able to destroy somebody's artifact and enchantment in a 4-player game, and you just got to have it. There's no reason not to have Hull Breach unless you don't have it, and then you got to go get it because it's cheap. Grab them. And then we got Destructor Dragon. He's he's definitely a new non-creature permanent destruction, because I do have I forgot what his name is. The guy that's 6/6 that persists. I do have him that destroys non-creature permanent, but I just really, he really synergizes well with Upbearer Hellkite, and he's just real good. 4/4/6 destroy non-creature permanent with flying. Like, it's amazing. And we got Beast Within, which you gotta have in your deck, staple green card. And then we got Steel Hellkite, which can be a token wipe in the right circumstances, but I mean, it's amazing that he's a dragon too. And we got Terracodon. And Acidic Slime, staple green card. Gotta have it. It's also good with Death Touch, with a lot of the fight synergy. Goes real well with any Death Touch creature to begin with. And we got Bane of Progress. And this card is so much fun. It's so fun just wiping the board of crazy artifacts and enchantments. And because I run very few artifacts and enchantment in this deck, it's perfect for it. It gets pretty big, and then afterwards you can take them to the fight. Alright, so here are my fight cards. The reason why it's called Fight Club, or Borborygmos' Fight Club. And that is Prey Upon, which you can't go wrong with a 1-mana fight card. It's so crazily costed. I don't think we'll ever see a 1-mana fight card ever again. And then we got Savage Punch. Gotta have Bear Punch in this deck. And then we have Pit Fight, which is insanely good when it has instant speed. When you can do it at instant speed, it's awesome. And then we have Domri Raid, which he can either get more cards in your hand, or he can fight. The -7, maybe I'll get there one day. We'll see. It's tough in Commander to do that though. All right, and we have Faux Razor Regent. He's another new card. This is the promo one, and he is a 4/5 flying for 7 mana. And when he enters the battlefield, you may fight target creature you don't control. Or well, Faux Regent fights target creature you don't control. And then whenever a creature you control fights, put 2/1/1 counters at the next end step. I can't wait to use this card, because I just recently put him in. I was like, man, I want to see if he can do some work. So we'll see. And then we got Ulvenwald Tracker, one of the best creatures to have fight. This is one of those Signal the Clans thing. You grab him, and then you'll grab this guy, Magus of the Arena, which you pay 3 tap, and then you tap target creature. The only thing I don't like about this card is that the opponent gets to choose the creature that he wants to fight with your creature, which kind of sucks. But, I got to use it once at the pre-release, and the guy only had his Shroom out. And I was gladly willing to fight him with my with my Inferno Titan, I think. So yeah, and this is the third thing you grab in Signal the Clans. You grab that Magus and the Ulvenwald Tracker, and hope you get one of them, which you will get one of them. But you hope you get probably Ulvenwald Tracker, but they're all good. Gruul Rage Beast is real good because whenever they whenever any of your creatures enter the battlefield, it fights target creature and opponent controls, which is kind of funny. And now we get into our not fight, but fight cards. And I call these my knockout punch cards, because they don't deal with your creature dying, mostly. So we have Tail Slash, Fall of the Hammer, which all these cards are just dealing damage to target creature equal to the power of your creature. But it counts as your creature dealing damage, so that works out with Death Touch real well. So that's why Death Touch is another thing in this deck that I have another section for. And we got Soul's Fire. The best thing about Soul's Fire is that you can actually choose whether or not it hits a creature or a player, which can sometimes end the game. And then we got our not so fight, but fight on a stick, which is Warstorm Surge, which is amazing in any token decks, any big creature decks. Just put this card in there. It's one of the few red cards that can fight the format of Commander. And then we go to our Death Touch creatures, which you gotta have Death Touch with those like knockout punch cards, because it's perfect for them. Deadly Recluse is, I think, my favorite card in green. Like, I know that might sound weird. It's a little 1/2. Like, I'm playing a big monster deck, and it's a little 1/2 reach Death Touch. Like, But for 2 mana, that is so much value. Like, it will just kill anything that you need. Like, and in the beginning of your commander game, no one will attack you when you have this out. Nobody wants to lose their important piece of their deck to do that. They'll just wait, and then I'll just one-sided fight them or just sacrifice them with a fight to kind of take that creature out. So it's perfect. Nightshade Peddler is hilarious. In my pre-release game, I actually, early game, had a Inferno Titan soul bond to my Nightshade Peddler. So when Inferno Titan was getting in, and when it came into play, because it happens when it soul bonds, it started machine gunning creatures off the board, which was hilarious. Like, I love this card. He may not look like much of a fighter, but he'll do work and he'll help others out. He'll give them some pep talk. And then we got Kessig Recluse, which is just a more expensive, a little more powerful Deadly Recluse. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But yeah, it's a more powerful little spider guy. And then we have Wormcoil Engine. Yeah, it pretty much has to go in every commander deck that you own. It's such a perfect card. Like, this is the one card I tell a lot of people, like, if you're building a commander deck, like, it's like pretty much automatic that you want this card in your deck. Like, it's just so good. It's the one card you should splurge to get in your deck. And then we have Hornet Queen, which is great for blocking the skies because green doesn't really do that well. I mean, red kind of does with the dragons, but I mean, I think Hornet Queen has to be in here, especially with the Death Touch. It'll be good with all the fight cards I have. And then Protean Hydra is an interesting include that. I thought about this card for a while, whether or not I should put it in. But the only reason why I kept it in was because even though it doesn't, I'd rather have something with trample or something like that. It's just so good when it fights. Like, when it, not the one-sided fights, but when you play an actual fight card like Prey Upon, or activate one of your creature's ability to fight, like, it just keeps doubling the counters that it lost. So each fight makes him stronger. So essentially, what doesn't kill Protean Hydra really does make him stronger. It's not a lie. It happened. And then we have Inferno Titan. Gotta have in this deck, especially with Nightshade Peddler. It was just ridiculous. He's so good with Nightshade Peddler. And then we got Hamlet back Goliath. I just put this in just because it just works so well with fight. Like, he just gets so huge he can fight anything. If people let him get there, that is. And then we have Stalking Vengeance, because I don't have really any way to like protect my creatures. I don't have any way to give them all Shroud or Hexproof and then regenerate them and stuff like that. I'm just running kind of a more aggressive strategy with this fight club. So I mean, he's good to just put out there. Like, as soon as you get a whole bunch of creatures out, you smell a wrath coming soon. You just kind of hope that it's not exile everybody and just slam him down. And Spore Frog, I mainly put in here because of Feldon. Like, I love fog cards to begin with. I believe if you're playing green, you should have at least one fog card in your commander deck. Like, I know it's weird saying that, but fog is just such an amazing card, and it could just change, like, the game. It could just absolutely change the game from losing to winning in some points. And I think it's just hilarious with Feldon, because once you get 1v1, like, if you're going against another creature-heavy board, like, you'll just keep on bringing back Spore Frog every single turn and fogging, like, every time. And they'll be so mad at this little 1/1 frog. And then we have our ways of getting rid of the graveyard, which we got Loaming Shaman, which doesn't exile, but it does shuffle all their cards into their graveyard. And then we have Scavenging Ooze, which is just a, great way to beef him up. He may get to the fight sooner or later after he exiles a couple creatures from the graveyards. And then we have our win conditions, which in this deck I thought, like, it doesn't really try to win. But I did stuff like a couple things, like mainly creatures that could just kind of win the game on their own. Like Rampaging Balofs, like, you let him go for a while, especially with all the ramp, and it'll get out of control with all the 4/4 beast that comes out. Giant Adaphage is hilarious. I have not played him yet, but I've been wanting to draw him so badly just because he keeps copying himself, and I just want to see how many 7/7 tramplers I can make, to be honest. It's such a funny card. And then we got Utvera Hellkite, and that's another reason why I got so many different dragons in this deck, is because I really did want want to have Udvera Hellkite kind of take a game on its own when it comes out. I mean, obviously it's not taking it on its own because you need other dragons to synergize with them, but I mean, even he can get out of hand after a while because he reminds me a lot of the giant Ataphage. I don't think he's. I mean, he could be better. Yeah, he is. I'd say he's. Well, I mean, the other guy's got trample. I was gonna say he's better because he has evasion, but I mean, I think they're pretty equal. And then Primordial Hydra is one of the best green cards ever. If you're playing any green deck in Commander, you need to play this card because this card can single-handedly take games. And that's another reason why he's in the deck. And then we have Overwhelming Stampede as my favorite Overrun card ever. I mean, Craterhoof Behemoth is amazing, but I didn't want Craterhoof Behemoth because, I mean, I don't think he works that well on this deck because I'm not trying to get as many creatures as I can out on the board. I'm just trying to get the fattest creatures out on the board, and that's perfect with Overwhelming Stampede because it gives all creatures XX and trample to where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So, you know, I hope I have, like, Hamlet back, whatever his name, out there, and, you know, have a couple creatures out there with him, so it, like, boosts them, like, 20/20 each or something like that. So, yeah, that's the last card. That is my Borborygmos Fight Club EDH deck. And yeah, I'll have also another link. I'll have Tap and Turn Gaming. I'll have their channel and the link in the description below. And I will also have the deck list to this and a link in the description below too. So yeah, just, you know, let me know what you guys think of the deck. Let me know what you think this guy's pointing at and yelling at, because I honestly think it's just a little defenseless squirrel. I just think he had a bad morning, and I think that's why he's so pissed. But yeah, just let me know what you think about the video and him. And yeah, like, favorite him, subscribe, and you guys take it easy.